A very good evening to all of you, my dear students. I am Manisha Das on behalf of eTuition family. Welcome you all to today's class. So we are in the part 3 of this lesson, crop production and management. Before starting our class, let me remind you that our eTuition is providing quality education for your better tomorrow. So don't forget to be a part of our family so that you will never miss a video from our side. Okay. So before starting the class, let me give a short revise of the previous classes. Can you tell that what we have studied in the previous class? Yes, we have studied about the different agricultural practices. Okay, we have studied about the different steps. So what is the first step? Yes, preparation of soil. And then the next one is sowing. Then we have discussed about that how to select good seeds. Yes. Then what is the next step? The next step is adding manures and fertilizers. After that which step comes? Yes, very good. The next step is irrigation. We have to provide water to the plants. After that we remove the unwanted plants, it means weeds. The process is called as weeding. After that our crop is ready, so we will cut the crops, that is called as harvesting. After cutting we will store the crops, that is called as storage. Clear? So you have recalled everything? So moving ahead to today's class. See what we will discuss. Recap of the previous class, and we have done that. So today we'll be reading about adding manures and fertilizers. Next is irrigation and weeding and harvesting and storage. So that day we have discussed about the two process, preparation of soil and sowing in lot of details. Rest of the process we will discuss today. Can you look at the beautiful GIF I have provided? Okay, see the children were very happy traveling in between the crop field. Why? Because plants gives us happiness. Okay, plants gives us happiness. This green color gives us freshness and refreshing memories. Okay, so moving ahead to today's class, the first thing we will be reading is adding manures and fertilizers. We will add manure and fertilizer to the plant, but why? Why we need to add? See, manures and fertilizers, what are they? The substances which are added to the soil in the form of nutrients for the healthy growth of the plants are called as manure and fertilizers. Let me give you one small example. कैन यू रिकॉल दैट व्हेन वी आर स्मॉल एंड वेरी थिन, जब आप छोटे बच्चे थे, अगर आप दुबले पतले हो गए तो योर मदर मे बी गिविंग यू प्रोवाइडिंग यू सर्टेन प्रोटीन पाउडर विद द मिल्क or Bonvita or Horlicks with the milk, so that he will drink the milk and it will be delicious and he will grow faster. Yes or no? My mother used to give me Horlicks so that I will grow faster and become fat. Not fat, it means she wants me to become healthy because I was very thin. Okay, so like that we need to provide some extra nutrients. The soil is having certain nutrients, like that my body is having certain nutrients, but I want to grow healthy. Okay, I want to grow healthy in certain period of time. So for that I need supplements like Horlicks and Bonvita. Like if we are cultivating crop, no, there is limited time, no, in this period I need my crop to be grow more healthy. So how I will do? I will add manures and fertilizers to it. So manures and fertilizers are these substances which are added to the soil in the form of nutrients, and they make the plant healthy. They help the plant to grow healthy. Okay, clear? See the first one is manure and the next one is fertilizer. We'll be discussing about these manures and fertilizers in lot of details in today's class. Okay, so moving ahead to the next slide. What is manure? Can you look at the picture and can you find it is very familiar to you? See, these are the waste products. Okay, these are the decaying products. These are the fruit and vegetable waste जो हम क्या खाने के बाद फेंक देते हैं. They are the waste. So what we will do? We will make a pit. Okay, हमें एक गड्ढा खोदना. We'll make a pit and in that we will throw all the waste inside it and we'll cover it. What will happen? What you will see after certain days? कुछ दिन बाद what you will see? That these substances were not there. Where they went? They were absorbed by the soil. How? So these substances vanish. They vanish and they form certain manure. These things are called as manure and they are decomposed. The process is called as decomposing. So what is decomposing? You have heard, it means you have studied in class 6. I can recall that there are certain microbes which help in decomposition of certain waste. Okay, they are called as decomposers. Certain microorganisms, micro means small organisms which I cannot see with my eyes. Okay, they are only can be visible down the microscope. Yes, that's why they are called as microorganisms. So certain microorganisms means they are friendly, good microorganisms which help us to decompose this waste product. They help us to decompose this waste product, and from this waste product we make the manure. Clear? So let us discuss what is manure. It is an organic substance obtained from the decomposition of plant and animal waste. As I have told you, these are the plant waste and animal waste, and the decomposers will decompose it. Decompose means breaking down into simpler substances, and from that manure is obtained. Okay. How will make? As I have told you, farmers dump plants and animal waste in pits at open places and allow it to decompose. So I have to make a large pit, and in that I will put all the waste together, plant waste, animal waste, and I will leave it. After a certain period of time, some decomposers will come and they will break it down. They will decompose it, and what will happen? They will be turned into manure. See, the decomposition is caused by some microorganisms. They are called as decomposers. Clear? Clear? Yes. Moving ahead. See, what is the need of adding manure and fertilizer? See, the soil is having nutrients. So what is the need? What is the need? See, continuous cultivation of crops makes the soil poor in nutrients. For example, if from the morning you are jumping, running, cycling, doing all the activities without taking food, what will happen? Will there be any energy left with you? No. Like that, if in a crop field I am growing and growing, means first crop, the next crop, means I am not giving leisure time, I am not giving free time to the soil to gain its nutrients. So what will happen? The nutrient level will be decreasing. So the soil become poor in nutrients. So in order to make up that, see, you are very much tired, your mother will give you one glass full of glucose water. You will drink that and you will become fully energetic. Like that, if the soil is decreasing, the soil is poor in nutrients, what we will do? We will add manure and fertilizers and the nutrients will be regained. Okay. So if I am adding manure to the fields, for what? If I am adding manure to the crop field, so that the soil will get the nutrients back, replenish the soil with the nutrients. It means the nutrients are added to the soil. This process is called as manuring. Adding manure to the soil is called as manuring. Clear? Can you look here? This is the manure, this is the fertilizer. Yes. Now moving ahead, advantages of manure. What is the advantage? Manure improves soil texture as well as water retaining capacity. So manure is very much effective. Okay. It improves the soil quality, it improves the soil texture, and it improves the water retaining capacity. It improves the soil. The soil can hold much water. Okay. Now it replenishes the soil with nutrients. As I have told you, if I will add manure, the soil can get back its nutrients. Now next is it enhances the water holding capacity of the soil. So the soil now, after adding the manure, the soil can hold more water, so that the plant can get more water. Then it makes the soil porous, which make the exchange of gases easy. See, for example, if you are having a dress which is very tight, can you get into it? No, it will be very difficult. If I am giving one comfortable, one loose dress, it will be easy for you to get in it. Yes, like that, if the soil is loose, okay, it is very much porous. So what will happen? The roots can go down and penetrate deep, and they can breathe. Okay, if it will be very hard, it will be very difficult for the roots. Yes, so the manures make the soil porous. Why? In the manures, certain earthworms are there. Okay, they make the soil up and down and make it porous, which help in exchange of gases. Clear? Okay. Now next is it increases the number of friendly microbes, because we have studied this manures are formed with the help of decomposers. They are the friendly microbes. So if their number increases, our soil quality will increase. It improves the quality of the soil. Overall, yes, it improves the texture of the soil, it improves the water holding capacity, it improves the nutrients, and it makes the soil porous, it increases the number of friendly microbes. It means the soil quality is very good. So the manure is improving the quality of the soil. Clear? Yes, moving ahead. See, fertilizers. Can you look at the picture? What is the man doing? The man is spraying fertilizers in its crop field. Why do we add fertilizers? Now only we have discussed, these are the chemicals which are rich in a particular nutrients. They are produced in factories. Okay, so one fertilizer is having certain particular nutrients, not all the nutrients. Okay, so they are very much particular. They are having different types of fertilizers. They are produced in factories. They are produced in factories because they are chemicals. Okay, now see, example are urea, ammonium sulfate, superphosphate, potash, nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium. It means N for nitrogen, NPK. Okay, N for nitrogen, P for phosphorus, K for potassium. You may be wondering, ma'am, how K for potassium? Because K potassium Latin name is kalium. Okay, for that K for potassium. Clear? See, can you look at the picture and see the man is covering its mouth and nose with a piece of cloth. Why? Because the fertilizers are chemicals, no, it can harm to our body. So what we'll do, we'll cover our nose and mouth with a piece of cloth so that cannot be in contact with our nose and mouth. It cannot go inside our body. Clear? Yes. Now see, it helps in getting better yield of crops such as wheat, paddy and maize because they are rich in particular nutrient. So which nutrient we want, we can add to certain crops and get a better yield. Okay? Okay. Now see, disadvantages of fertilizers. What are the disadvantages? What are the disadvantages, children? First one is they are the chemicals. Okay? See, excessive use of fertilizers make the soil less fertile. It is very dangerous. It means if I will add very large number of very huge amount of fertilizers because I want higher yield, if I will add more fertilizer, what will happen? The soil will be less fertile. The soil will lose all its nutrients and the plant may die. Okay? And it causes water and soil pollution. So by adding the fertilizers, we may cause water pollution and soil pollution. What we will do? So we will not use fertilizers. Okay, we will use manures because they are having friendly bacteria. Yes, friendly microbes. They are very much friendly. Now see, how to maintain the soil fertility? Substitute fertilizer with manure. First one, now only I told that we have to avoid fertilizers because they are decreasing the soil fertility and they are making the soil polluted. So we will say no to fertilizers. We will use only the organic manures. Okay, and leave the field uncultivated in between crops because we have studied that if we are continuously cultivating the crops, what will happen? The field will lose its nutrient capacity. It will have lower nutrients. To maintain that, we will leave the crop field uncultivated for certain period of time between two crops so that the field will regain its nutrients. Clear? See, we can do crop rotation, children. What is crop rotation? Can you look at the picture? It means once I will cultivate this crop and next I will cultivate this crop. For example, have you heard about legumes plant? Yes. So in their root nodules, one microorganism is there. Who is that? Rhizobium bacteria. How it helps? The rhizobium bacteria helps in fixing the nitrogen in the root nodules of the leguminous plant. So if I want nitrogen in my soil, so what I will do? I will plant legumes in one season. After that, I will cultivate another crop like wheat. So when I am cultivating the legumes, what will happen? The rhizobium bacteria will store the nitrogen in the soil. So I am getting enough nitrogen in my soil for the cultivation of wheat. Understood? See, by growing different crops alternatively, as I have grown wheat and the legumes alternatively. So by this we can maintain our nutrient capacity. Clear? Yes. Now moving ahead. See, difference between manures and fertilizer. What are the difference? See, this table is given in your book. Okay. First point is fertilizer is a man-made inorganic salt. It is made by the man. Okay. It is artificial. But manure is a natural substance obtained by the decomposition of cattle dung and plant residues. It means naturally it is happening. Okay, we do not need any factories or any substance. If we will put only the waste product in a pit, what will happen? The microbes will make them. Okay, fertilizer prepared in factories, it is prepared in the factories, industries, but manure can be prepared in the field. In open field we can make. And fertilizer does not provide any humus. Humus means what, children? Organic products, because they are chemicals, how they will provide? But manure is provide a lot of humus to the soil. See, fertilizers are very rich in plant nutrients like nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, because fertilizers are having particular nutrients, but manure is not that much rich in particular nutrients. Okay, it is rich in humus. Clear? Yes. Now moving to the next slide, the next step is irrigation. We added nutrients, we added manures and fertilizers. So what I will do now, will give water to the plants, because as we need water to grow, plants also need water to grow. So plants need water to grow. So providing water, giving water to the plant, the process is called as irrigation. Okay, see, the supply of water to crops at regular interval, it means periodically. Okay? So if I will give in the morning, next morning, it means same time I have to give water to the plant. This is called as irrigation. The time and frequency varies from crop to crop, soil to soil, season to season. It means every crop is different, every season is different, every type of soil is different, according to which I have to give or I have to irrigate the crop. See, in the summer season, plants need lot of water because evaporation is there, transpiration is more, so it is very hot outside. Okay, so the water in the soil gets evaporated, so we have to provide more water to the soil so that the plants can take up the water and utilize and grow nicely. Yes, clear? Yes, moving next. See, sources and methods of irrigation. So where do we get water for irrigation? Where we will get? Rivers, lakes, tube wells, Yes, these are the sources. The sources of irrigation are wells, tube wells, pond, lake, river, dam and canals. These are the sources of water. So we'll get water for irrigation from them. So what are the methods, children? There are two types of method for irrigation. There are two types of method. What are they? One is traditional method. It means long ago we are using these methods. And next one is modern method. It means with the advancement of technology we are using these methods. Now see, traditional method. Can you look at the picture? There are certain traditional methods. One is dhekli, one is chain pump, one is moat and another one is rahat. I will give you a small trick. How will remember this traditional method? See, the water available in the wells, lakes and canal is lifted by different methods in different regions for taking up to the fields. See, water is available in the sources of water. They were the wells, lakes, tube wells, canals. Okay, but we need to bring them to our near the crop field. How? With the help of these traditional methods, people were doing that. Okay, what is this? Dhekli, chain pump, moat and rahat. Okay, we'll be discussing about it in lot of detail. See, cattle or human labor is used. See, here the man is doing, here the man is doing, but here cattle is doing. So we can take the help from both man and animals also. And these are cheaper. They are not very costly but less efficient. I mean, it takes lot of time and it is a very much wastage of water. Okay. See, pumps are used for lifting water. They need diesel, biogas, electricity and solar energy to run. So in certain areas we use pump. Okay, like in chain pump we use pump. So it is used to lift water. It is used to lift water from deep. ठीक है, नीचे से हमें पानी उठाने के लिए पंप चाहिए होता है, बट इट नीड्स एनर्जी. हाउ द पंप विल वर्क? इट नीड्स डीजल, बायोगैस, इलेक्ट्रिसिटी एंड सोलर एनर्जी टू रन. एज इफ आवर कार एंड मोटर बाइक्स आर needing diesel and petrol, like that pumps are also needing them. Now see different traditional ways. See, I have told you, I'll give you certain short form, that is my doll can run. My doll can run. Can you look? My means M. M for moat means pulley system. Here as if we are doing in the well, pulley system. We are pulling from the down and bringing the water. Now see doll. D for dhekli. D for dhekli. It is also same like that. The man is bringing the water. Here pulley is not used. Okay, here pulley is not used. That's why it is written only as dhekli. The man used to bring the water, and through certain drains the water is sent to the fields. Okay, then C for chain pump. Can you look at chain? Here we are making one channel, and from that it is going. Then R for rahat, lever system. The kettle is helping. The kettle is helping. Clear? Okay. So what is the short form? My doll can run. M for moat, D for dhekli, C for chain pump, R for rahat. Clear? Yes. Now see, traditional ways are over. Now modern methods. See, they help us to use water economically. It means there is very less wastage of water. They are very costly, but they are very costly. There are two methods. Okay, there is sprinkler system, drip system. Drip means drop by drop it will from. Sprinkler system means it will sprinkle as if rain, as if it is raining. Have you seen our shower? The shower is sprinkling water. Like that the plants will get the shower. Okay. Now see, sprinkler system. Can you look at, here is a nozzle. This is called as the nozzle. So when the water is passed through it with a lot of pressure, the nozzle will open and it will start rotating. Okay, and the water is sprayed all over like it is raining. Okay, see, sprinkler system is useful on uneven land, means where the land is not even, it is up and down. Okay, and there where sufficient water is not available, the water is very short in that area. So what is done there? Perpendicular pipes, certain pipes are arranged, okay, having rotating nozzles. This is called as the nozzles on top and joined to main pipeline at regular interval. See, can you see here regular interval? Some spaces are there, same space. This is called as the regular interval. So when the water pass under pressure, the nozzle start rotating. As I told you, the water will pass with pressure and the nozzle will start rotating, and the water is getting sprinkled as we are having our shower, and on the crops like rain, as if it's raining on the crops. Clear? Yes. Now next is drip system. Can you look here? Here the water is falling drop by drop. Here there is no wastage of water. The water falls drop by drop directly at near the roots. It will drop near the roots only. So it is called as drip system, and it is dropping drop by drop. Okay, it is the best technique for watering fruit plants, garden and trees. We can use this technique in fruit plants, gardens and trees. Water is not wasted because drop by drop it is filling. See, it is highly recommended where the water is very poor, means the availability of water is very poor, where shortage of water is there, we can use this system. Clear? Now moving to the next, weeding. What is weeding, children? Removing of weeds. What are weeds? They are the unwanted plants. The unwanted plants that grow along with our crops are called as weeds. Our crops is there are certain unwanted plants, they will again grow with the weeds. See, weeds are, have you seen in a group of children, there must be one naughty children, okay, that will not cooperate, they will fight with everybody. Okay, that will fight with everybody. Like that, weed is that naughty child that will fight with our crop to grab everything. I will take your tiffin, as the naughty child says. The weed will say that I will take up your nutrients. So weed is the naughty child. Clear? So weeds are the unwanted plants that grow along with our crops. Now see, the removal of weed is called as weeding. So the process by which remove the weeds is called as the weeding. We can do it manually with the hand as in the first picture, or we can apply certain chemicals called as weedicides. So the chemicals which we apply to remove the weeds are called as weedicides. See, it can be done by manually, by our hand only, or using weedicides. Clear? Now, next is why we need weeding. Why do we need to remove the weeds? As I have told you, it is important because weeds compete with crop plants for water, nutrients, sunlight and space. See, weed is the naughty child. It will fight for everything. I want your notebook. I want your tiffin. I want your water bottle. I want your color. It will take everything from you. Like that, the weed will take everything from our good plant, that is the crop. It will take water. So what will happen? Our crop will not grow. It will take up the nutrients. Our crop will not grow. It will compete for the sunlight. It will compete for space. So what will happen? Our crop will not grow properly. Clear? Yes. Now next is some weeds can be poisonous for animals and humans. See, if the weed is not removed, okay, so what will happen, we will cut the crop after it is maturing, so then we will eat them. So after cutting the crop, if these poisonous weed are there, what will happen? If they are poisonous, it may cause harm to us. Yes, so it is important to remove the weeds. Now see, weedicides. Weedicides are chemicals. Chemicals used to control weeds are called as weedicide. Example is 2,4-D. And these are sprayed in the fields to kill the weeds. Why they are used? They are used to kill the weeds and they do not damage crops. They are not harmful for our crops, but they need to be sprayed during the vegetative growth of weeds. It means the weed is growing, okay, just only it started growing, that time only we have to spray, otherwise it will not stop growing. Before flowering at seed formation, the weed is growing, it is in its vegetative stage, okay, so we have to spray the weedicide in that stage only. Now see, next one is weedicides. It can affect the health of farmer. As the fertilizers were doing, weedicides are also harmful, okay, they are harmful for the farmers. So can you see here, it is applying, here the man is applying fertilizers and weedicides, and it is using gloves and mask as we have seen in the fertilizers. So they should cover their nose and mouth with a piece of cloth during spraying of these chemicals like fertilizers, weedicides, and when they are spraying, they used to cover their mouth and nose with a piece of cloth or a certain kind of mask. Yes? Okay. Now moving ahead, then harvesting. See, we have removed the waste, only crop is there ready to harvest, ready to cut. The cutting of crop after it is mature is called as harvesting. Our crop is now ready, okay, so now we will cut the crop. This process is called as harvesting. It can be done manually by sickle. Can you see this instrument is called as sickle, okay, it can be done manually, the man is doing by its own, or I can use a machine that is called as the harvester. It can cut a large number of crop at a certain period of in a small time. They include two more steps. What are they? Threshing and winnowing. What are threshing and winnowing? Let me discuss. See, threshing and winnowing. Can you see this? This is threshing, and this is winnowing. Okay, this is winnowing, this is threshing. So threshing means separating the crop from the chaff. Okay, separating the crop from the chaff. This is also the same, but by winnowing with the help of the wind. Okay, we used to move from a certain height and the chaff will fly away and the crop will with us. Threshing, the process by which the grain seeds are separated from the chaff. Okay, it can be done by a machine called as combine. This is the combine machine. Winnowing, also the process of separation of grain and chaff by winnowing machine. It can be used by a winnowing machine is there as blowing the air by which the chaff will be separated, or it can be done manually as in the picture shows. Now see, harvest festival. See, the farmer is doing a lot of hard work, okay. After harvesting, it will celebrate that I have done such a lot of hard work, so I will celebrate my hard work. As you do when you get a good result after your exam, you give party and your mother like to cook certain delicious food items. Like that, the farmer also appreciate its hard work by celebrating certain harvesting festivals. Harvest festival, they are, what are they? See, festivals for the celebration of hard work of the farmers are called harvest festival. So the farmer has done a lot of hard work to cultivate these crops, so we will celebrate it. These are called as harvest festivals. Example are Pongal, Baisakhi, Bihu, Makar Sankranti, etc. Okay, so people used to give rest to the cultivating land. In this period of time, in these festivals, the crop field are given rest, okay, and the farmer celebrates by eating the new crops. Okay, now see, we have harvested. Now it is very important to store them for our future use. So how we will store them? Can you look at the picture? The crops are packed in the jute bags. Yes, the harvested crop need to be stored for our future use. It is an important task. It is very much important to store. Harvested grains have more moisture. Okay, we have harvested the crops and it is having moisture. If we will not dry this up, what will happen? It will get spoiled. Okay, microorganism will start growing and the crop will be spoiled. So before storage, we have to dry them in the sun. We have to dry it properly in the sun, so that the moisture will be reduced, and after that we will store them in the sacks. Okay, so this prevents the attack by insect, pest, bacteria and fungi. So we will dry them up. There is no moisture, so there will be no attack by the insect, pest, bacteria and fungi. Clear? Now see, storage. So where we will store? Grains are stored in jute bags or metallic bins by farmers. See, metallic bins, and these are the jute bags. Okay, farmers used to store them. See, large scale storage is done in the silos and granaries to protect them from pests like rat and insect. You may have seen that in your home, no? The rats and some insects used to cut the sack and used to take the food grains. See, these are the silos and these are the granaries. Okay, here we can store a large number of crop. Okay, now see, dried neem leaves. In our home we used to put dried neem leaves so that no insect will damage the crop or damage the grains. See, special chemical treatment are also done in large godowns. As I have told you, after storage also, no, certain rats are there. They will try to damage our crops. So for that, certain chemicals are given so that they will not attack our storage, not attack our stored crops. Clear? Yes. Now see, animal husbandry. We have studied about how we used to cultivate our crop. In the first class, I have told you that agriculture is associated both with the plants and the animals. So we have studied about the plants. Now animal husbandry also the same thing. Okay, but here we will be rearing. We will be pet. We'll make them pet. Whom? To animals. So we will rear the animals for our benefits. We will make a house for them. We'll give them proper amount of nutrients, proper amount of food, a clean environment, so they will give us useful products like milk, meat, egg. Yes or no? Yes. See, we get food from both plants and animals. Plants and animals, both of them gave us fruit, as we have discussed in our first class. Like crops, as we are cultivating the crops, animals are also reared at home and farms. In the home, we are using 2 or 3. In large scale, in the farms, is called as animal husbandry. We are keeping the animals for our benefits only. In a large scale, that is called as the animal husbandry. Clear? Clear? Yes. Now see, children, a tree has roots in the soil yet reaches to the sky. It tells us that in order to aspire, we need to be grounded, and that no matter how high we go, it is from our roots that we draw sustenance. It means, see, have you seen a very big tree, very tall tree? But the roots are in the soil. Okay, roots will be in the soil, but the height of the tree will be very tall, that will be reaching the sky. Like that, if you are achieving something, if you have done something great and you have become a very reputed person, never forget that where you have started. As the tree has its roots in the ground, if the tree will forget about the roots, what will happen? The root will not support the tree and it will fall down. Like that, it will not appreciate where you have started, will not appreciate the lower stage, you will never be ahead in your life. Like that, so we have to learn from the tree is that always be grounded, always be down to earth, always be thankful to those who have helped you. Okay, it is from our roots what we get. It is our roots which give us nutrients, as the plant gets its nutrients from the roots, from the soil. So we get everything, we get our motivation, we get our willpower, we get our confidence from our root only. These are our families, friends, which inspire us to do, as you inspire me to do a lot of hard work. Yes, my dear student. So be happy, keep learning, keep studying and revise all the lessons. So with this, we ended this chapter. In the next class, we will be discussing the question and answer and some certain extra points out of the book new points, interesting points we'll discuss. So don't forget to revise the lesson and don't forget to like, share and comment. Yes? Okay. Thank you and stay happy, stay safe. Okay.